Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tim's Timeline Talk. I would like to thank everybody who's just tuned in right now. If you just tuned in, please share, 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 and share, and share, and share, and share. Timeline Talk. I would like to thank We are going to have a amazing show. I have amazing guests and I'm really happy. I'm thankful that they are here. I just sent them a text, asked them if they wanted to come, and they said yes. We all know what's going on today. We've seen a lot what has been going on for the last couple of weeks. I talked about it, touched on it about it a few days ago, and this time I actually have a panel who I would like for them to share how they feel and their views also about it, especially not just about what's going on with police brutality, but what's also going on within our own community. Like black on black crime is always going to happen. Like it's here as well. And yes, we're crying and we're going crazy over the white people treating us wrong and the police officers putting us in handcuffs and treating us unjust. But then there's times where we're treating each other unjust. So that's why my caption is all Black Lives Matter with a question mark, because when you are part of the LGBTQIA plus community, you are basically put back on the back burner, and you are basically the lowest of the low when it comes time to voice our opinions and voice what we say and how, and we know we want to be heard. So for no further ado, I am going to bring out my first guest. He is a songwriter. He is a dancer. He is an influencer. He does it all. He makes people smile. He makes people laugh. He has great energy. Always has great energy, and I love him to death. He's one of my brothers. Ladies and gentlemen, LaRon.
Hey, hola.
Hola.
Which one?
So thank you, LaRon, for coming. Yes, yes, yes. So the next person that I would love to introduce you to, she is like one of the most phenomenal, talented people I know. Like, we've known her for years, and she like every time I see her, it's like something different, something new, something popping. And then there's times when I'm just sitting at home flicking through YouTube, watching a ball, and then I see her walking down the runway. Like I be like, wait a minute, she was just here last night. But other than that, but then also her artwork, like listen, her artwork is it speaks for itself. It's very it's she's just everybody here is artists, and I just what I wanted to bring in on the piano. So no further ado, la.
Hey.
Hi, how are you guys? Why would you give me that introduction? That was stupid. I'm, I'm not worthy.
No, listen. When you I mean you are one of the ones who also like you made a platform in our own community. So yes, I commend those who do that. And
Thank you.
you have. You really truly have. And there's a lot of young people today in part of our community that look up to you too, because you've always been who you are, and and always non-apologetic about it either. So, and that's what a lot of people need. So, thank you for being with us today. My next person that I have on the panel today, which he is phenomenal. He is a creator. He is a traveler. He is. I'm waiting for the book to come out as soon as we have ever gets it going. Um, he just he's a phenomenal person. His energy, and when you meet him, you just like, oh, okay, all right. hi, what's your name again? Like that's the type of person you want to know who he is when he steps in the room because of his energy and because of the type of person that he is. And his artistry and the way his mind works. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, Calvin, but because it feels you and it fuels you because he helps you think. So another than you, let's introduce Calvin Sylvester Martin.
Yes, comment so that's stuff more. And come on now. Come on now. Thank you for that introduction. That was cute. That was cute. Thank you.
Now, my fourth person, but she's last but not least, she is my sister, my ace boon coon, my friend. We cut up a lot of times back in the day, still do when we get together. I love her dearly. Her artistry speaks for itself. Like when you like, if ever you need a mug, your mug ain't looking right. Trust and believe she got you. And this is another person who has obviously made our community what it is because she has been such an inspiring thing for so many other people. Um, as me myself, when I didn't even never even met her before, but when I heard a part of her story, I was like one of those persons that I had to like run to it. Mind you, I was like 14 at the time, but I won't tell my age right now. But yeah, so none other than the Miss Black Barbie doll herself, Tiana Banks. Thank you for coming. Thank
Hi
you.
guys, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. It's nice to see everyone. I hope everybody's doing well.
Yes. So, I'm gonna show a clip. Once again, thank you for my panel that's here today, and that we just gonna chop it up. We're gonna chop it up.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna play a little clip of something that just once again has been happening, and then also like some things that people have been seeing throughout the days of what's been going on, and then back in this time, a woman said we we basically worked for what we wanted, and we still are getting what we need and what we want. So I'm gonna play this clip really quickly. No, that's not the clip. That's gotta be it then. And please bear with me, y'all. This is my first time really working this program.
This
So
program.
please
Okay,
bear
come
with me.
on.
I'm trying my best to put myself in a good stat. So here we go. The flag is linked with our blood because you see, so many of our ancestors were killed because we have never accepted slavery. We had to live on it, and we never wanted it. So we know that this flag is linked with our blood. So what the young people are saying now, give us a chance to be young men respected as a man. And we know this country was built on the black backs of black people across this country. And if we don't have it, you ain't gonna have it either. Because we gonna tear it up. That's what they say. And people ought to understand that. I don't see why they don't understand. They know what they've done to us. All across this country, they know what they've done to us. So in that was Franny Hammer. She said that back in, of course, you guys saw the clip in the '60s, and she ain't lying. I mean, I agree with her in this sense. When you are tired, and you ready to fuck it up. I mean, what? I mean, LaRon, what is your view on it?
When I first saw the clips of the burnings happening, I was automatically like, this is crazy. These are limited stop. This is not the way you do it. Like, you can't just start burning stuff up. But then, people educate. Shout out to everyone who's out there trying to educate people by any means necessary. And a lot of the folks is like, this looting has been a strategy for a while. And so, I'm not going to say that I'm here for it 100% because I and I feel like if certain businesses are funding oppressive people, then take it down. But if you're just out there stealing because you're not really helping the cause of lives, you're just doing what you would normally do.
Okay. Tiana, what you feel? Can you hear me, Tiana?
Hello?
Yeah, how do you feel
Tim? I'm so sorry about that.
it?
You know what? I'm suffering from a weak connection on my end. So I got a little frozen. I'm so sorry about that. You know what? I'm suffering from a weak connection on my end. So I got a little frozen.
That's all right.
Hello?
How did you feel about what Hattie said basically about how we're tired? Like people are tired, people are pissed, and we're young, and that's what we know how to do is fuck shit up when we get mad.
Yeah. Well, you know what? First I want to apologize for my bad connection. But I do want to. I caught some very important pieces of what you said, and I wanted to discuss that. Are you able to hear me?
Mm-hmm. I can hear you.
Okay. So the way I feel about everything is very confused, very angry, very sad. I feel very like I don't feel like safe or supported by the government in terms of being a person of color. And right now, I just feel that we are all in a very strange place. And it's really unfortunate because this situation we really was not prepared for. As everybody knows, we've been dealing with this whole pandemic, and for
No, we lost her.
I think when we talk, everybody has to mute their mic for one person.
So I'm sorry. Everybody keeps telling me is there echo? Everybody got an echo?
Yeah.
How about here we go. No, because it's probably me too. I don't hear it, so I'll just mute and then mute yourself when you start. And then is there still an echo?
No, I don't think there's no echo with you.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just mute ourselves, and every time we'll talk, we'll just unmute. All right, go ahead, Tiana. What continue with your view.
Hey. Oh, I'm sorry about that. So as far as with the whole situation is concerned, the way I'm feeling is very confused about a lot of things. And I just feel that there's so much going on that I almost lost focus on what really mattered, which is us receiving justice and getting to a peaceful place, and most importantly, equality. It's very important that everyone is treated fairly. And it's unfortunate right now that we're not able to experience that due to the police brutality and a lot of different Black lives being taken. I'm just hoping that things will eventually start to kind of change over, because I really don't know how I feel about the kids seeing this, and like it hurts my soul. I watch the news every day and it's always something. But I'm not happy about this. As a person, I'm sorry. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
We was listening. All eyes on you.
Okay, so no. I mean, the way I feel is just I am all for protesting, but I wish that I'm first of all, I want to say, like, I'm really excited to see the youth and the younger generation out there really standing on the forefront and really trying to fight for justice. But what my concern is, as a Black person and just as a citizen of this country, is I just feel like a lot of people are putting themselves in unsafe circumstances to prove a point, and we are supposed to be fighting for justice. And these acts, these different crimes that are now taking place due to this whole police brutality, it's like we're fighting hate with hate. And when you fight that way, you're not getting anywhere. You're not going to get any results. And you can't fight. It's just like you can't fight darkness with darkness. You can only fight darkness with light. So it's the same thing. You can't fight wrong with wrong. You can only fight wrong with what's right. And until we start doing things the right way and doing things in decency and order, I really am not sure how much of a change that we're going to see as a culture and as a country. Hello? Hello?
I agree. I just
I'm so
point
sorry
is,
about that.
I
Is
feel
everybody?
like we can all hear you, baby.
Okay.
My thing is, for me, I'm like, go ahead, tear it up. But if you're gonna tear it up, I'm serious. No, tear it up. Because I know when I'm that pissed and when I'm that mad, there's no stopping me. There's no stopping me. That's the truth. And like a lot of people know that when you are that
No, I
mad, there's no
understand.
stopping you. Like, so it comes to a point, but it's also like, okay, if you're gonna tear it up, then clean it up. You yourself clean it up. So I feel that these Black officials that are there in high power, these Black officials that have money, these Black officials that, like, because what's going to happen is we're going to start bringing down the equality. I mean, the equality in the economic status of that land. So since it's going to bring it down, then that means to them probably drug rate is going to get back up. Then if drug rates, then they're going to want to clean it up again, because the only people they feel that can clean up the drug rate is police. And then boom, another justification area where they're taking like white people just bought the land because it was cheap. And so that's where I feel like people with money and these Black officials that are in high powers and high statures that have it and that can afford it, go ahead and buy the land back. But what is your view, Calvin?
I'll mute myself. For me, I'm a deep thinker, so I don't know. I think for me, three words come to mind: condition, identity, and truth. When you look at history and you look at what American history was built on, it was built on a condition on the backs of blacks, blacks helping build a country. And being that we were taken from our native land from all over the world, we've been conditioned to be lesser than. So when you're in a condition and you're put in these conditions in society where you are in poverty, you are in a struggle. Like most Black people within different communities have been through some sort of struggle, some sort of trauma. And I think when you get to the root cause of this, what George Floyd, the death of George Floyd is a built up of trauma of over 400 years. So then when you look at the year now and where Black and brown people of color are at, in every community, we're all searching for our identity. We're all searching for finding out who we are and how we can be powerful within the world. So when you're doing that, you're gonna find so much stuff. I know for myself, I've been reading so much stuff to where I'm like, okay, how do I identify as a Black man? How do I identify as a man of the LGBT community? How do I identify as a human being within society? And how do I continue to be successful with the platform that I have? And I think when you're standing on your truths, regardless of what you're faced when it comes to hate, it comes in so many different forms. So you have the hate from people who don't look like you. You have hate from people who are considered the superior race and considered the ones who are higher up. Then you have hate from people who look like us and who don't understand our plights and our walks of life, and they choose to walk in their truths. Like the fact of the matter is, some people truths are hate that's embedded in them, like regardless of where they come from, how they were raised, what they were taught. And I think the truth is, America has to unlearn some of the behaviors that they were founded on, and that takes some time from peeling it away. And I think with George Floyd's death, just the countless deaths, it's the truth is that we have to look at ourselves and say, okay, how do we want to change? And sometimes change is not comfortable. It's not comfortable at all. Even when you are looking for a new career change or a new job or a new environment, that change is going to come with some level of difficulty. And I think having the conversations like this and going through the difficult times is worth it, because if they didn't write in the Civil Rights Act, we wouldn't be able to vote. We wouldn't be able to go to school. We wouldn't be able to receive our education. We still would have been being taught by what the quote unquote superior race wanted us to learn. And I think having these conversations and understanding our truths is something that's important at these times. And sometimes the truth is you got to burn shit down to get your point across. Not saying that it's right. I think you have to be strategic in who and what you choose to dismantle and how you choose to dismantle it. But sometimes when you are, I want to say, a little bit fed up, and sometimes it's about being fed up. Sometimes it's the simple the miseducation of some people and how they don't have access to certain stuff. So if I don't have access to it and I don't have the opportunity to receive it, I'm going to take it regardless. That's just plain and simple. Like they say you always don't. If you're knocking at the door and they're not letting you in, what do? You either knock that door down or you climb through the window. You figure some way out to get through that point of recognition and access that you want in the world. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't want to go off topic, but if that makes any sense. Unmute yourself.
Okay, I hear you. No, I do hear you. Lala, what's your thoughts on? Because I know you have. I mean, what should wait? What you feeling?
Oh, okay. Now I'm so sorry. Um, okay, how I'm feeling about the whole situation at whole. I'm indifferent, I'd say. Um, being a Black woman of trans experience, I would say that this whole protest and the whole Black Lives Matter movement, I've always felt I'm afraid to say iffy because I don't want people to think that I'm not proud of being Black or anything like that. Or I feel less of, or whatever the case may be, or better than. Um, I'd better say that in my lifetime, I've had more experiences where me being a transgender person was an issue rather than my color. And even today, I made there was a post that I made, but between that post and between me finding out about what I posted about, there were a lot of other posts where people from my community or people within the gay community, I don't know if we brought up the Ayana situation, but where people were weighing in on that. And a lot of people whom are already very, very pro black within the gay community, the LGBTQ plus community, rather, are already heavy on the George Floyd situation. So, with that situation happening within the same parameter of the area where George Floyd had gotten murdered, it surprises me that that can happen, but people can scream Black Lives Matter. I don't understand how we're like all Black Lives Matter when to all of us, Black lives don't matter. All Black lives can matter to some people, but if we all are not on the same level, then all Black lives matter is not a fact. So that's how I feel on that. And I'm trying to say it in the most politest way without sounding like a racist.
No, speak how you feel. it's not.
No.
It's not being. It's not being racist at this point in time because we can't be racist. I'm sorry, but people can look at it as that we can. No, we can't be racist. We like over 400 years.
Mm-hmm.
Over 400 years. How can you suppress someone like that? Someone for that long? Like we have our ancestors, we have people, and then mind you, to be honest with you, my family, some parts of my family, they weren't slaves, but they were merchants. Like they sold to Indians. So it's like, but then once again, the land was taken away from them. And then on top of that, my grandfather, he had my grandfather had to leave his hometown in North Carolina because he beat up somebody that was part of the Klan. So it's like that. And the crazy part is they had to dress him up like a woman to put him on the train so he can come up to Connecticut. I'm serious, like, and that's what they had to do because they was ready to kill him, all because he beat somebody up.
Can I say something? The fact of the matter that he had to get dressed up and and to get out of a situation where hate was prevalent is it brings truth to the fact that as black people and people of color within the community and people with outside of the community, there's a lot of truth that we are not willing to face. And it
Mm-hmm.
comes down to the fact that, there were people within the LGBT community who led the civil rights movement, who helped Martin Luther King write his speech, who helped certain situations who kept certain situations from happening. If not, without their opinion, stuff would have went to a whole nother level that we would have been out of control of. But I think it comes down to how confronting those people who choose not accept the whole truth. Like you can't just say, "Oh, Black Lives Matter," when you have a situation in Minneapolis and a person of trans experience is getting jumped by 16 other black men. Like that makes no sense to me. Like, and I had to check myself and I had to check my realities a couple of years back where I was a part of an organization and a situation arose where I found myself being, I don't want to say, I don't want to, I don't be, I want to be, I want to be politically correct, like transphobic. That's a thing, correct? having a phobia against trans people, and I had to check myself and say, you know what, at the end of the day, that is another human being. That is another person living in their truths and identifying as whoever they choose to identify. Who am I to sit here and have some ill judgment or ill malice because of something I may or may not agree with? And I think living in that truth allowed me to say, okay, you know what? I accept everyone from every different walks of life, and I choose to love out of love. But if you bring that hate near me, I have to check you. Like I have to check you. Like just that's just how I resonate right now. Like if you bring a hate towards me, whether you're black, white, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Asian, because that's another truth. Like it's not just white people. It's our blacks. It's our Asians. It's our Latinos. It's people. What the if superior race is feeding other people around the world and the image that they are portraying of how we are perceived, it matters. So I think us standing in our truths and saying, you know what, I'm gonna check you even if you look like me. So.
You still on mute, boo. Okay. Come on, video. You better.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna actually show a commercial. This is one of a commercial that I made for one of my friends. I don't know if she's watching. Thank you. And then also, if you are a black business owner, or if you are a black creator or anything, I am willing to put whatever you have on my little platform for free. All I ask for basically is maybe a little donation if you got it. If you don't worry about it. I'll post it, I'll put it up there, I'll put you on. So without that, I'm gonna get rid of all y'all real quick and I'm about to just pop up this commercial real quick. So bear with us and we'll come right back. Would love to look cute and fashionable. Obviously, that is the owner right there, as you saw in the commercial. Go on down there. You can meet her at her website right about now. Her name is Kathleen Pelican. She has a lot of designer things. She's also been on the Wendy Williams show. She's been seen in other places, and she's just a wonderful hearted person to be around as well. We went to high school together. So yes, ladies, if you are looking for something nice to wear, because mind you, COVID is about to be over. So you're gonna need that cute little romper dress, a little romp. You want to pull those up. Then go ahead to kchicboutique.com, and you can also find her on Facebook as well. And yeah, so back to the panel. once again, I just want to thank y'all so much for coming on. Just giving light and truth to the things and stuff that y'all how y'all feel. It's beautiful. Um, I'm gonna see if I hope I have the picture. I was trying to find it while the commercial was running, but obviously I can't. Um, so what I'm gonna do actually, because everything was in my phone, I was finding things in my phone. I was trying to download it on my computer and trying to be cute. But it didn't work out. It's well, it's working out, but I'm trying to get it better. But this is something that kind of bothered me a lot. I'm trying to find the photo, um, because it's crazy how one knee one knee was an uproar and the other knee made another uproar. Can't find the picture right now. It's not, so I'm just gonna move on. I thought I had it up, but basically it was about um Colin Kaepernick, and it's crazy how his knee during national anthem made such an uproar, and it was so called disrespectful. But when you have people on TikTok and on other social medias and Snapchat basically taking a like talking about some George Floyd challenge. Stuff like that upsets me. It makes me mad. It pisses me off. Because it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not a joke. I don't know why you would think it is. Um, and it just makes me want to find out who you are and just punch you in your face. But I can't do stuff like that. I'm in a position where I can't do that. But it's it's annoying. It really is annoying because it's like you made a this black man basically took a knee during, and mind you, in football they take a knee for when somebody gets hurt. So you got mad because they're basically honoring the people that died, but yet you have people making it a joke when they're taking a knee on somebody's neck. That really upsetted me a lot. And I had pictures, but for somehow my computer didn't let me download them. So I gotta get a Mac. A Mac is what's popping. I gotta get a Mac. I don't have the coin for it. So yes, and if you want to just send me a cash app, it's Timmy Tim. $ Timmy Tim 213. I know I'm a mess, but other than that, La, how do you, like how did you? I know you probably seen it. How did you feel about that?
What exactly the Colin?
How did you feel about seeing people? Well, because mainly the ones I've seen is white boys basically do a George Floyd challenge.
Oh wow, how do I feel about that? Okay, so I did see it last night in the midst of a lot of other things that were going on. And initially, to be honest, I don't have a feeling to nonsense like that. You have to be a very scorned or just I don't know. I don't if that bothers you to an extent, it's because other things similar to that have bothered you in a like a PTSD situation, anything like that would bother you. But me personally, because I don't know those people and because I know I may never meet those people, it didn't bother me. Bothered me is that people are actually comfortable doing those things. People will be
Right.
okay with posting those things and their friends be okay. Like, these things are on social media where millions and millions of people are able to watch, view, like, comment, screenshot, share it, etc., etc. It surprises me that people have the audacity to go that far. Um, do I think it's wrong? Yeah, of course. But do I think those people also have the right to do that? Yes, because we live in America, and that's the problem that you can't change unless you get out of here, or unless the government changes the law, which is the First Amendment, which we love to
Right,
quote.
right. Marcus,
I was saying mute yourself. The echo and what's happening again. Not for you. um, I agree with Lala in the sense of certain things don't deserve my energy, and that's a real thing. Like I think that took me a while to learn because I get really passionate about things, and my feelings sometimes get the best of me because I feel so deeply. Um, but certain things shouldn't be allowed to affect you in a way, and so I'm gagging because I didn't know that was a challenge when I first saw the pictures, and my brain be all over the place. So sometimes I have to wheel it back in. When I first initially saw the picture, I was like, oh, these are white people on white people's necks, giving very much like this is how it feels to, you know, demonstrate police brutality. But then I saw the smiling on their face, and I was happy about it. I'm just like, wait a second. So then I had to read the comment because that was my first reaction because I've been seeing a lot of non-people of color supporting the black culture, and I'm like, everybody. I went protesting. Everybody named Mother was out, and it was so dope. And so, no, literally, non-people of color was like rolling deep when I was protesting. So I was like, here these white guys on white guys next giving very much like we got to stop this. Are we allowed to curse on this show? I'm gonna keep it PG-13. Um, and so when I read the comments, I was like, oh no, this is not Black Lives Matter. This is very much like mimicking and ridiculing us. And I was like, oh, this is different. Like this is a whole different kind of spectrum. And I think anytime someone tries to like, I don't know, just give humor to someone's like hurt, then you're just evil. Period. And you don't need any type of affection. And um sometimes when I see my people who are just like about that life and they just like tearing things down, I'm kind of like pay it and let them live them because there are people on the opposing side that are very much paying it. Like I just watched this video on Twitter and I had to show my sister, and you got to give Whitestone, New York. I'm over here thinking New York is like Amungawa. I love my black people. We liberal, we equal. And Whitestone, New York, he was ripping down the Black People Matter sign, just ripping them down. And the guy was recording him like, what are you doing? Like, you're a racist. And he's like, so? Like, Ian? Like, okay. And I'm just sitting there gagging like, that's how we reading them? Like, I know I'm a racist, Ian, what's up? So I feel like you need that extreme, not to get off too much of a topic. Like, I believe that we need the Martin Luther Kings following, but we also gotta have that Malcolm X side. And there's no shade because at a certain point in time, you just get fed up. You really really do it, and I feel like when you talk calm like this, um, some people are listening, and it's effective in certain atmospheres in certain spaces. But when you start getting really loud and you start moving your hands, people feel threatened, and you get people's attentions, and you start shaking the room up. And so I feel like you need both. Period. Oh, I can't hear nothing. I'm gonna mute myself.
Your camera's muted, Tim.
No, it wasn't muted. I was a little mic, and I thought I could, use my mic without hearing the echo.
Oh.
But obviously, my little my little mic ain't work. It's okay. Yeah. Calvin, what is your view on it? Because I know you saw it.
I saw it. At first, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go F. I'm ready to go F shit up. Like me of all people was like, okay, I'm ready to go. If I know somebody that's like this, we gonna have a heart to heart. If you don't want to change, we might have to go to blows. But then I checked myself. So I said, having a platform that I have and knowing what my truths are, what I believe in, like Maya Angelou said it best. When somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Like believe them 100%. So I said, okay, they're showing me that they're racist. They're showing me that they hate another group of people because of the color of their skin, or they're showing me that this is how they grew up. This is what's embedded in them. They feel like okay, that's their privilege. That's how I'm going to live. Even for me, I feel like I have certain privileges as a black man who, in the LGBT community, and I dress a certain way and my mannerisms a certain way. I can go into different communities and be like, "So what's up? How we living?" I could go in the hood and walk in the hood and look at other black and brown men, and it not be a problem. We could chill and relax, and it not be a problem. But yet, if somebody who looks like me, they have feminine characteristics, or they have an androgynous appearance, or whatever the situation, they go in that same neighborhood and they're getting ridiculed for the way they look, for the way they act, and all the, how the way they live. It's like, yo, those people who are doing sending that energy that way, that's embedded in them. So if they're not willing to change, I can only say but so much to somebody who's not willing to change. That's the reality of the situation, and that's what what's going on in America right now. And I think everyone is taking a look within themselves and looking at the platforms and the walks of life that they come from and saying, okay, we understand that America has been through this for 400 years, but now it's a new dawning, it's a new day, it's a new age, and you're dealing with generations where they're not going to take so much shit. If they're not taking shit from their parents, if they're not taking shit from people that they call friends, how do you expect them to take the shit that old people with these elder people with these viewpoints of systematical racism and institutionalized racism that's embedded in them? How do you think that's going to last to continue on in society? I think it's going to come to a point where people are fed up and we're here. Like it's not going to take this change is not going to happen overnight. But I think out of this movement is going to be reforms and a lot of things that need reforms in it, like prison institutions, college institutions, the work institutions, just how we look at, yeah, I think a lot of it. So for me, stuff like that doesn't faze me. Now, when I see the footage, like the actual footage of people taking it upon themselves to say, I don't like you, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you because I don't like you. That's a whole nother that's a whole nother thing that resonates with me where it's like, okay, this is you. This is the ugly side of you. So then I have to say, okay, if you're gonna take it upon yourself to defend your ideologies, I'm gonna take it upon myself to defend myself and the people that I love and the people around me and in the community that I come from. So that's my viewpoint.
Okay. Okay. Um, I'm going to actually play another clip. Yes, it is a little disturbing. Um, but you know what? It's real. It's happening. Um, and we hate to see it. We really, really hate to see that.
Can I
But
piggyback off of what he said before we go to this video break?
yeah, go ahead.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Go
cause
ahead, because I look for it
I
anyway.
I know in what you said something about having privilege within the LGBTQ plus community itself, and I feel like I've had even though yes, I'm a true believer of how you say two wrongs don't make a right. So I don't think that what's going on in the world right now is going to solve what we want. It's going to more so get aggression out. It's not necessarily going to change things overnight, you know? Just like I could detox if I'm a drug addict, but it's not like I'm never going to do drugs again after I detox, or I'm never going to have the influences, the triggers, the mindset of a drug addict, which is a harsh thing to talk about for most or some people rather. But it is the reality. So this is a very harsh subject for a lot to come to terms with and to understand that yes, over 400 years we've been oppressed, but within those 400 years, we as a community have evolved. We're not just black men and women from 400 years ago. We're black men, gay, straight, bi. We're black trans women, gay, straight, bi. We're black lesbians, gay, straight, bi. We're black cisgender women, gay, straight, and whatever you are. You know, we're more than just the norm of what used to be. And what used to be a taboo is now normal on the streets. And what is normal on the streets is not necessarily safe, at least for me or for people who are like me. And I bring that back to privilege because for me personally, I feel privileged because I am what in the community is real. You know, I can walk through places and people not even know. And there are times where it sounds crazy, but I legit shit forget to have to even not have to. I don't want to say have to because I don't have to, but I forget that that's a part of me that I have to tell people. You know, being black is not something that I have to tell people because it's very apparent. It's my skin complexion. And it may not even be my ethnicity. No one would know that my great grandfather was a white man and also a slave owner. But I would have to tell you that because all you know is that I'm black. Um, Having to tell people you're transgender is another experience in itself. But having people, let's say me, be with a group of transgenders and someone be what we say is clockable, which is they may have stronger features or more masculine features than I, which people say is real. So they may get clocked and they may get like people may pick with them, and this is me standing next to them. They're getting picked at as a transgender, but being called a man, being misgendered, etc., etc. While me, I'm not because I am real. I'm not saying that this happens all the time when I'm with my girlfriends, but I'm saying that this has happened to me in the past, and I know what it feels like to be misgendered, and I know what it feels like to see someone being misgendered, and I feel like black people, we the black people, feel the same way when we see these videos online and we see things where black people are being taken advantage of by racists. They're not being taken advantage of by sexists because of their skin color. They're not being taken advantage of by the police because of their sexuality or because of their gender. Most are being profiled because of their skin color. But within our own black community where our lives matter, we get profiled because of our sexual preference or our gender preference. But then again, you have people like myself or other real looking masculine men who can go for straight, who have a certain privilege. And I don't think that everyone in the gay community realizes that there are privileges and levels to this shit. Unfortunately, I'm not the one who makes the labels, but they're there. And that's what I wanted to say before I totally got, because I would have.
No, to tap on to what you were saying too, honestly, I can agree with that because I can say that I've been privileged just by being a little bit lighter than a lot of certain people. And then too, my hazel eyes. So my hazel eyes gave me privilege because it was the first thing that come out of somebody's mouth was, "Are you mixed? Who is what is your mother and what is your father?" And I have to explain to them they both black. and but then I also use that in the ballet trend, like because when I was dancing, I kind of used it because I did get picked before the dark skinned dancer when it came down time. I had to fight. I had to fight a little bit more because his technique may be better than me, but I knew I had to look. So I'm not gonna lie, I used it because I knew. And then it's crazy, and especially when you step into an atmosphere of somebody of people like you, it I used it too just to see, and it worked. So it's like wow, it's yeah, I get it, I get it. So I'm gonna go to the clip really quick. It's a little disturbing, but I think it's something that we all understand.
I definitely have something to say about privilege. Whenever we done with the clip. It's real. Privilege is real. Okay. All right.
What the fuck?
So obviously that video is there's a lot more to it. It's like 21 minutes. That's just the clip that everybody's been seeing. When I first saw that, I was kind of upset. I was pissed. Um, and it's sad because it's like you can't even be who you are amongst your own people, and you can't even defend yourself amongst your own people. And I think that's sad in a sense. And like, mind you, like Hope Giselle said this morning, like it doesn't make sense because that was a lot of people on one person. And it wasn't like that person was the size of me. It wasn't like that person was just like the size of somebody that person. She was petite. She was small. Granted, it's crazy how she held it. It's not even crazy how she held it. I can't say it's crazy because it's like we already know that she held it down for herself as best as she could because that's the way how it is for us. And that's what irks me so mad, and that's what makes me so mad is because we already know we have to be prepared for it, even if we are amongst our own people. And I think that's crazy. And sometimes I think it's crazy how we can even feel more comfortable around white people than our own people, which I think is just is sometimes it's crazy because it is. And in this situation, we're mad and all
God,
upset
I'm so
with
glad
white
you said
people
that.
because of what's going on, and we're all mad and upset with white people and all this other stuff and going gong ho with white people. But then at the end of the day, white people don't beat us up like that. They the only thing they do, they kill us. And that's it. But we rather destroy our mental psyches by doing a trauma like that to us. And I think that's crazy. And like, yes, it's crazy how we have to always be prepared for something like that. I mean, I was always prepared during high school because I always was me. I always was me. That's why I kind of thank God that I had people like Tiana. I had people like Lala. Go, it was like yes, like okay, cool. I'm not the only one. But then we look. I know I looked. We looked out for each other at the end of the day. We had to, and I felt bad because she was in a situation where there was nobody there to look out for her. There was nobody there to step up and like say stop. Like she even tried to hide behind the store, the person behind the clerk, and she touched his shoulder. He yanked it away from her. You see 30 people on her, and you yank your arm away from her for what? She's in danger. If anything, so what? It's not like she was coming for you or coming at you or wanted to be on you. She was feared for her life. But yeah, she was talking her shit though. And I give it to her like, yeah, look, I'm gonna hold it down for me because and that I think that comes to a lot of gay people in a sense too. You feel like you by yourself. So regardless, because you don't know if anybody gonna be have your back or not, so you're gonna have to hold it down just in case if you because you started it or somebody started with you. But and then that's why it's crazy to me because it's like, Jack, I can feel comfortable around this white person that's basically saying "fuck you, nigger," and then I gotta turn around and be with these black people that say "fuck you, nigger." Just like it's crazy to me, and especially like this that picture. Let me find that picture because that picture is like it's a thousand. It says a thousand words within itself because it's relevant. It's so relevant because we don't like I don't understand or know where we stand in the way how we could just be okay. We
You gotta.
cannot.
I know what picture you talking about.
You have family that come at you. You have family come at you. You have people. All these people just come at you on crazy levels, and it's like you don't know where to go. Sometimes you don't know who to trust, and so you go to your family. Like this picture right here speaks volume to me. This picture right here speaks volume to me because it's like, yeah, what the hell do we do? I'm gonna either get killed or beat up, probably killed on both ends. It's just, ugh, it's disgusting. Calvin?
I think so. When I watch, okay, I didn't know it was 21 minutes of that footage. So I'm watched the 24 minutes of the footage. But let's, I, when we stick into my truths, that whole situation. First, I'm hearing C shades they say whatever. So I guess it was based off a car accident. But in reality, I think that whole situation looks like something that's prevalent in the community that you see a lot, where you have these quote unquote straight men or straight acting men who are approaching trans women of color and trans women, trans people of the trans experience, and they're having these experience with them, and it's going the way they want it to go. It's not going the way they want it to go, and they get around their friends, and it's like, okay, even though we have what we have, I'm still with my boys and stuff. We still gonna do what we gonna do, and they're gonna clock you and then jump you, and then that's a whole nother ripple effect within our community. It's like you don't understand it, but you have a fetish for it, or you have some sort of attraction to it, and because you can't take within yourself, and because you don't want to have you choose not to understand it, you choose to react out of hate and destroy someone else's lives who's living in their truths, and because you can't live in your truth, it's like it's a domino effect that's just all across the board negativity. And I think it plays a part in not only the men, the black and brown men who are perpetuating this stigma against trans women of color, but also to the um, females who are straight, females who have their gay, lesbian, or trans best friend, and they choose not to stand up for them. It's like, okay, we have to psychologically we have to think better than that. We have to say, okay, I know they're in their walk, but you can't do that to them. It's because it's uncalled for. And I think it takes a person of reasonable sense of not even reasonable sense, common sense. If you don't want that to happen to you, don't let it happen to someone else. And I know it's like somebody will be like, okay, mind your business, but 16 people on one person, 16, probably 16 plus more on one person. That's we're playing into the stigma of what white people do to us. That's a lynching because somebody is living their life as a trans person. That's a lynching. We do it, and we're conditioned to do that because not only does it happen to us, we're doing it to other people. So I don't know. I think it's just you got to call people out on their bullshit, no matter what community is coming from. Like even like if some person in a ballroom scene, you go to a ball, and it's like, okay, you got so many different walks of life, so many people walking these different walks, and then we get outside the doors, and you don't want to defend us. We don't want to unite and be together on one accord and say, you know what, no, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. That's just my personal opinion.
La?
Um, wow, this is the main topic of what I was waiting to talk about, obviously, because I had so much personal connection with this. Um, my initial response to seeing the video, only because this is my initial response, only because currently what just happened with George Floyd. So initially, as I saw it, when my friend passed me the phone, because my roommate, he showed me the video. I didn't see the video on my own time. He showed me the video, and I'm looking at the video without him saying, "Oh, this is a transgender girl. This is me." Looking at the video without reading a caption or anything. I'm just looking at the video, and I'm like, "Wow, what's going on?" And then it took me a few seconds to realize that's a transgender or someone of trans experience. And then I can hear it was a part of the video where you hear like the men not necessarily hyping it up, but doing a Annie up type of sound, like oh 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 oh. That right there fucked me up so deeply. on so many levels because all I could think of at this time, at where we are in America, is a group, and it's crazy because I'm a person of trans experience and also Black. So with what's going on right now, all I could think of is a group of white people in my head doing that to someone Black during a time like this. It can't happen. It won't happen. It's not gonna happen. That what happened to that young lady is not going to happen to a Black man or a Black woman today on fucking social media with people of their own community around them. Period. That's not happening. So when I see all the Black Lives Matter days prior to, and then after I get off the video and I find out this is happening in the same state, neighboring towns, like I go and I'm an investigative bitch. So I go to everybody's, excuse my French, I go to everybody on that live's page that I could go to by being smart in detective law. I could see, like, the guy who posted the initial in the video, to correct everyone, was 17 minutes and semi-seconds long. Maybe 20 something, 21 minutes. I'm not sure, but it was around in that ratio. And the first couple of minutes, you see the girl inside the store, and he makes it aware. I'm sorry, he makes it aware that the reason why the people outside are trying to fight her is because she just had a car accident. You can see the car accident if you really, really analyze the video. It was a fender bender. It was something small. Someone in that crowd did not have insurance, and they were disgusted. That's another thing in the Black community we need to work on. Get your shit together and have your paperwork. I was about to get nasty, but I highly doubt, even if insurance was involved, that same situation would have went down if that was a cisgender straight female or if that was a cisgender straight male. I don't care how mad they were at the time. They only did what they did to her because on top of having hit your car, that's a transgender, a person that y'all call a nigga in y'all hood, or a FAGGOT. I'm not gonna say it because this live may get blocked. Facebook is sensitive nowadays. We could say the N word, but we can't say F word. It's crazy. But I don't understand how there are people in the audience. I mean, well, I say audience like it's a fucking wrestling match. There are people in the crowd screaming, no, 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 but I don't see anyone trying to break it up. And the people that I do see grabbing her just when you think that they're going to break it up, they're trying to pull her out the store and rip her out the store. To think if that girl would have made it in that parking lot for more than what the little bit of time she was in that parking lot, she probably would have died. And to know that this girl is still alive, she's just bruised up, but I'm sure she's going to have trauma for the rest of his life that slaves went through back in the day, from being like the same thing happened to Black men and women back in the day for groups of white men. If you was a Black man and you was on your way home from work and you was, if a group of white men saw you, they were not allowed to do that, but it was okay for them to do that, and the police do not care. But that's a whole nother topic. That corner store was in her own neighborhood. People in that store knew who this girl was. That's like me going to my corner store, everybody knowing who I am, but no one coming to defend me. That's number one, which will never happen. Not to me, at least. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for her. To know that
You
I'm
darn
reaching
sure
this
right about
girl's
that because I
age,
ain't standing there. I'll be darned.
I don't
You
think
know,
a
you
soul
already
would
know I
stand.
would
I don't
not.
think anybody would be standing. It would be mayhem. Myself, I would have started a fire. I would have probably committed suicide, and that was a thought. I'm not letting nobody beat me up. I'm not letting a group of people damage me. I will do it my motherfucking self because, baby, I've tried and it wasn't possible. So I don't think it could be possible for somebody else to do it. To know that this girl is still today on Facebook when she's putting her cash app, because people are asking her, what's her cash app? I want to send you some donations. That being the way to, show people that you care nowadays with social media happening. You post your cash app. It's not necessarily saying you want money or people asking you because they feel like you don't have money. It's like, let me give you some, eh. Um, this girl is trying to pay the people whose car she hit. She's trying to give them money. I'm gonna just end at that, and I'm gonna let everybody else talk, and we could come back to talk about it together. But she's still trying to give money to the people whose car she hit, as if she's to feel guilty for hitting their car after they did what they did to her.
And I think that's crazy. What? What?
It's wild.
And then
It's
once
really
again,
wild.
you beat us. And I believe Hope Janelle said this. She said you beat us, but then you want us to march with you.
Mm-hmm.
So
That
I
doesn't
And
think
make
with
I personally, prior to this incident, had plenty of people because I wasn't necessarily coming at the protesters, the peaceful protesters, or even the angry protesters who were being a little bit malicious, but not the rioters. When I've made posts within the past week or two about people rioting certain things, like y'all are wasting y'all. I mean, I understand y'all want to get some good things for yourselves or whatever, but don't make it seem like the riot is for the cause. Don't make people who are looking at the riot from outside in, because yes, we are America, but bitch, we're still in the world. People from other countries is looking at us laughing right now. Like, we still so proud to be Americans, but we're diminishing what it is to be an American. You know, I don't personally love the fact that I'm American. It may be a problem to some, may be a problem, but I don't love the fact that I'm American because I come from what is an oppressed community, the Black community. I don't know where I'm from before America, which is my problem with American. I can have many white friends, many Spanish friends. They can tell you their back roots to where the fuck they're from. Oh, Italy, Ireland, Spain, Portugal. I'm Ecuadorian. I'm African American, but I don't know what tribe in Africa. I don't know what part of Africa. I couldn't tell you much. All I know is I'm Black in America. We're really diminishing what we see as the all American figures. Like, I don't understand how people can live with um, respect for themselves while disrespecting people within their communities. And within the community, you have people like just period. I've had plenty of people comment on that and say things like, well, what did he, disrespectfully saying, what did he do? And it's like, why would you, Black people asking what did he do, knowing it's a trans woman, a transgender woman? So when you ask what she did, you could at least respectfully say, what did she do? But on top of misgendering her, you're actually asking a question that doesn't matter. What the person did doesn't matter, because when a Black person is killed by a white racist, we're not asking what that Black person did. When you see the video of that Black young man running, people say he was jogging. He looked like he was running for his life. I don't know who the fuck was jogging in cargo pants. Um, but they say he was jogging. When you see that video, you're not asking, well, what was he doing in that neighborhood, or what this, what that. All you're saying is Black Lives Matter, raise your fist and let's protest. If anybody Black in America right now can see that video and not believe the cause should be more than just us being afraid of the police, something is wrong with you. And it's ethically, it's just terrible.
I'm gonna jump in because y'all talked about a whole bunch of stuff. Um, and it gets my blood just be boiling. So in my family, I'm like not the gay guru, but they always got questions, and so I'm always like, and I'm like, I'm not the only gay one, but we not. I, yeah,
I think I'm the only gay person in my family, and if I'm not, I'm the only out and about one.
right. It's like where they at though. Like, why I gotta take this journey by myself? Plus, I'm a little isolated from my family, so it's also a different story. But I think that everyone in that video should be ashamed. Numero uno. Um, I actually had a post, and if they're watching this video, this is not attacking you. This is acknowledging you. I had made a post about Black people needed to step up to the plate, and what I meant by that was that I felt that the hashtag Black Lives Matter is not inclusive of queer people. It's very specific to me. When I hear Black Lives Matter, I think of a Black man. I don't even think about cis female, because 9 to 10 when it's coming out of somebody's mouth, it's like a woman saying, they killing all of our strong Black men. I've never heard a woman say, yeah, they killed my feminine grandson, or my lesbian sister. It's always like my strong Black man. So that hashtag to me in itself is very like not inclusive of everyone. But it's just crazy to me because hate is a taught behavior. Like the same way, and we've all been saying that, like racism is a taught behavior. You don't just come out the cooch and be like, I hate gay people. Like that's not a thing. And it just gets my blood boiling, because I'm like you look like me. Like why would you wanna destroy something you look like? You know what I mean? And I know that I always question things, and so I've been questioning, why do Black people hate gay people so much? And I'm pretty sure white people hate white gays also in their community, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about specifically us right now. I think there's several reasons. Obviously, religion, which I think is full of shit, because that was used as an oppressive tool to hold us down. So people always like God, and the Bible says, I don't got time for that, because there's so many things that the Bible say that you don't go by, but you still do it anyway. So I'm not really trying to hear that. I know that
crab and that shrimp.
when they don't understand something, people are very afraid and or threatened by that. And sometimes it feels like competition, and so people don't like competition. Specifically if they see Black trans women and cis females in the room, that's kind of like competition, and it's like, why are you trying to be like me? But I think even furthermore, I was like, why does my Black brother hate me? Why does my cis straight Black brother hate me? And I think it's because I make him feel ashamed, because I look like him and I am gay and I love men. That is shameful to him. And so by me existing, I'm ashamed to him and everything that he stands for, because we are taught to be strong Black men way back when, in the 400 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like that was our role. You need to be the strong Black masculine man. And because I am not, it's like you're a disgrace, because I don't see them pick on like white gay men. I don't see it. I know that if a Black gay man is walking past, we could be holding hands together. It's automatic target. And I think what kills me even more is when people of the community don't acknowledge it. Because I had a conversation. I recently just went through something. I was in Flatbush. Flatbush is full of West Indian people. Yes, I'm calling them out because I think they're very homophobic. And niggas was rolling down the windows, very much giving like boom bye bye. And I don't got time. Like I be ready to turn up. And it was a good 3 of us, but friends was giving very much, chill, relax. And I'm also like, you're right. I don't know if they got weapons in the car. And the last thing I'm doing is like, I can't fight a bullet. You know what I'm saying? Also, I don't know how many niggas in the back seat. I saw a cunt driving. I saw a guy with dreadlocks in the passenger side with the window down, schoolman, Bati boy, and all of this. And then it had to be people in the back seat. So I'm like, you want to treat me like cunt? I'm going to act like white women cunt. And so I flagged down 2 white officers in the car. I don't got time. Black Lives Matter, right? So I flagged down 2 white guys in the car, and I was very much like, he was like, what's going on? And I was like, there's these Black guys in the car screaming, I'm like, you like, we gonna play. There's these Black guys in the car screaming shotgun sounds at me, and I feel very threatened. Get into this though. So although like, and I think, not to go on a tangent, but like, I know my privilege. I know that I am a gay black male, but like, as a gay black man who has embraced his femininity, I feel like I'm able to travel through this space sometimes like untouched. It's very weird when I'm in certain spaces. Like, the hair may be a little too much. You know what I'm saying? It gets attention, but if I'm by myself, I don't get called out. It's very weird. Um, and I'm able to maneuver in spaces where guys kind of treat me like, kind also, like, opening doors, gestures like that. I can't explain it, but so I embrace my femininity is what I'm saying in a nutshell, and I think that's a privilege within itself. But yeah, I had to call the police and turn the music down, and the guy in the passenger side was like, "What you turning it down for? They can't do nothing." Turned the music back up. Boom, bye, bye. Kept pushing through, and the cops stopped at the light, and they waited for them to pull off. And I'm just gagging, like, my dumb ass just went to a fucking protest for us, given Black Lives Matter. I'm here for my brothers, trying to prove something to myself, that I'm here to support not only myself, but my black brothers and sisters. And y'all dumb asses is over here still ready to kill us. Like, yeah. I could go on and on, so I'm gonna mute myself because I really get triggered. And I think the last thing is, people are very much given. I was having a conversation with my sister. We don't know which to tackle because the big concept is like race in black men and police brutality. But I think that we can do all of that shit. We can do all that shit at once. Because if we just stand there and be on some, let's get race together, that shit is gonna go. Like, we're never gonna stop. We're gonna have to deal with race all our life. That's not gonna be a stopping point. You can't be like, today ends racism. You know what I mean? So while we trying to get racism together, get the ignorant black folk together also along the way. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna go fill my wine back up too. 'Cause y'all niggas got me fucked up if y'all think that
But
that's
let me
cool.
say this too, because while we're still on the topic, I mean, this is not a topic I feel like we should just spend 15 seconds on. You said, I'm trying to say this right. Okay, family. Okay. I wanted to go all the way back to that. I feel like the people within the black community who find it so shameful for them to for the black community to consist of the LGBT people and be accepted, I feel like it's made a shame of on top of a taboo, because it for the sexist or for the people who are not accepting of it, it shows a weakness. For the people like myself, I feel like it shows a strength, because like the black woman offers something to the household, the black man offers something to the household. My parents, and I say parents because I was adopted and I'm still connected with all of my parents, thank God. There was ups and downs with that, just to say. It's not been straight through communication the whole time, but nonetheless, I still have communication with my blood relatives and adoptive parents. I feel like before our ancestors were brought over here as slaves, family was the strength of your tribe or whatever the case may be. We always, you hear black people saying, I don't hear too many white people saying, I want 10 kids, but I hear a lot of black people saying that. And maybe it's because I hang out with more black people and have these conversations with black people, but that's just go to prove my point. I hear a lot of black people having these conversations where they're saying, I want to have 10 kids. But I think that comes from our ancestors. Like, that's something within our DNA. It's embedded in us. And it's embedded in us for us to have a black, strong man within our household. It's embedded for us to have a strong mother, and a mother who is a caretaker, and a woman who is empathetic to her children's needs and their wants. When you come over to America, where we have the freedoms to be who we are, and we talk about family, we say that, and this is me, a person coming from the 90s and early 90s till I was around 10, 13, gangs were the families of the neighborhood on top of what was your blood family. 9 times out of 10, your cousin, your brother, your father, somebody was in a gang, which also made your family a part of a gang family, if you understand what I'm saying.
Or
Um,
sales. They wasn't part of the gang. They was dealing. They was doing their own businesses.
oh, that as well, that as well. But when a person like me per se, is it that group of people in my family? I can't tell you a cousin, aunt, or uncle I have, and this is me coming from my blood mother's side, which is Jamaican, being raised by her and being raised in a Jamaican household and still knowing these people till this day. Ain't nobody come out yet. So I was the only and still am the only one. Me being 30, this is my 30th year of life. I can't even find somebody like myself within my family. Okay? For me to find people like this within my community, I would have to stretch out. You know, me and Tim, we like not grew up in the same area, but you know what I'm saying? We from the not from the same town because I wasn't born here, but you know, we are from the same area. Tayana as well. These are people that I've seen growing up out here, but it's not like I got to hang out with them and we got to have these bonds. I think a lot of people within New York City, in the cities where gay LGBTQ plus population is so high, they take for granted that they have these people to talk to. Okay? You have a lot of down low men that have down low friends and they have down low parties. That don't happen out in other places. There's not a lot of and people don't. You understand what the gay woman goes through. You understand what the trans woman goes through. You understand what the gay man goes through because these people are like us and they're here on live and they're on their social media talking about their life. No one except for the lover of a down low man understands what they are going through because they are just a part of the community as much as we are, but they can't even announce this to people because they may die or they may go through what we go through. They may go through what that girl in that video went through. They may be the weak link to their family. They're not, they don't, these people who were not born on the idea of fuck that, I'm gonna live my life as it is and however I want it to be. I don't care what people
I
say.
think that's kind of pussy.
Yeah, these people are not they not bold enough. They would never have the coup to do what they really want to do in life. They can never have, and I'm not gonna say never, but they don't have it now, and they don't see it, and they're not trying to manifest it. You know, as much as a man is trying to say, "Oh yeah, baby," to me personally, "Oh, I love you. I want to be with you, no matter what the world say, no matter what my boys say, all of that, all of that, the whole spill is like a convict giving me jail talk. Okay, I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna do good, baby.
But
You know,
okay.
it's very much that. So until the black community one lets us trans people be comfortable in our own community. I mean, let me go out there and let me feel scared in the white community because one of us said earlier that I feel like white people treat me a little better. And let me talk about, I don't mean to ramble, but let me talk about another incident where I feel like a white person, because like I said, all white people are not racist and most white people are not sexist like black people who are oppressed are sexist. I went on a job interview for Lord and Teller. I wish Tiana was on the phone right now because she worked at Lord and Teller. And she worked at a Lord and Teller. Well, I don't want to tell her information, but she worked at a Lord and Teller in a different location. And the location she worked at, it was a white community. So I believe that the people who interviewed her were white. This is why I wish she could confirm that right now. But in my interview, the manager of the department in which I was being hired for, which was shoe sales, Miss Thing. I worked at 9 West in Aldo, Miss Thing. I got history. Don't tell me that I can't do it. It ain't no commission. It ain't nothing to this. It's Lord and Teller. Y'all don't got that much traffic. I got it. There's no reason why I shouldn't have got that job, okay? The white woman that was above the black woman of my department, the white woman of the whole Lord of Tarot meets me. She ain't clapped my teeth. Doubt she did. Um, she's like, oh my God, I love it. Your resume looks good. Oh my gosh. Yes, we're going to start you. What date should she start? Da, 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 da. She looks at the black women. Black Lives Matter, right? She looks at the black woman, a black woman that could give me a chance, another black woman. And the black woman says, well, I don't know. We did another, mind you, white woman above black woman, she should know that you did another interview before I even come in the door. She should know that there's another person already filled for this position. The black girl was lying. She said, oh, I think the position was filled. We had an interviewer earlier come in and such, et cetera, et cetera. And the white woman goes, well, what do you mean? This girl right here is the it. And she looks, because of how I present myself, that's another step in the door. We have to, there are different type of privileges we have. There's the privileges we have when we are attractive. There's the privilege we have when we are passable. There's the privilege we have when we are talented. There's a privilege you have when you're smart. There's so many different privileges that so many
when
different
you're
black
skinny,
people have. When you're skinny.
small.
Okay, let me slip through this crack.
When you thick too, stop playing. Because
when
thick
you're
is
big,
thin.
because my skinny ass be cold in the wintertime. I be cold shivering boots and my big girlfriends be outside no coat.
Okay.
I'm mad.
Okay.
But there's so many different type of privileges that happen within our communities, within the world, within America. So to say that the white people are the only people with privilege in America, you got to be out your mind. Yes, they may have had the first privilege, but they're not the only privileges. You know, at least not in today's society. Lauren, you said like how people when you're alone. Me, if I seen you alone, not knowing your tea or whatever case may be, you look like a straight guy who may be a hipster, you know, like into music. You have that aesthetic. That's why you may feel safer when you're not around other people who may get you clapped. You know, I'm not keying when I'm by myself with my girlfriends, but if I'm with my girlfriends, we keying, we cackling. You know what it gives. It's so many different levels to this shit. It doesn't make sense, but people that are not willing to be informed are not going to be informed. They're not going to take the chance out to do so. You know, a lot of people don't care, but they want to act like they care because it's a trending thing to care. I guess if that's smart to say. Yeah, it's trending to care right now.
No, you're right. They do. They do pretend to care. Ooh.
I find that other races accept within families a transgender better than, I'm not going to say better than, but differently than the black community does. You know, I've had Latin people, like my Latin friends, whether it's Spanish, Hispanic, or from Spain, or whatever the case may be. They've been accepted within their families before they even came out. You know, they start off at a younger age because it's okay for them to express themselves this way. We see on like so many, I'm not even going to talk about white people because we're not talking about them right now. You already know the privilege that they have. The white trans is so much more privileged than the black trans. But obviously not in the community I grew up in, which is why that does not matter. And I'm not even going to speak about the white transgender. I'm talking about the black transgender, the brown transgender. I've never had a problem with in a room full of white people, but I can hear whispers in a room full of black people, plenty, about not my color. Because in a room full of white people, they're not talking about my color. They may like me more because of my skin color. They may say, oh my gosh, I love your hair. Let me touch it. I want to know what's going on. You know?
Is that your real hair?
Is that your real hair? Oh my God, you just had it long.
Why does it look like that?
Why did...
Can I just put...
How did you do that to your hair?
Right. Yesterday it was like this. Now it's like this.
Some black women take offense to it, but I mean, we talk about white people appropriating the black term and all of that. But come on, Black women, let's be real. You wear weaves, you wear European bundles, you wear Brazilian hair, like you wear lace fronts to cover up the fact that you have a fro. We're outside.
You gotta give that. Thank you for bringing that up, sis.
We're outside protesting with bundles when Black Panthers would have never wore a bundle. The Black Panthers would started the movement would have never done any fucking thing
So
that
correct.
these Black. They would have came outside looking like this, authentic African American. It's not gonna give you I'm Black and I lead to look white for the white people in America to accept me. Because if you come to my cookout and you got bundles in or braids, baby, I'm not gonna treat you differently. But no shade, the girl with the braids gets the Timbs before the girl with the bundles, because she looks like herself. She looks like she's not pushing it. I totally understand the aesthetic of I want colored hair or I want to protect my hair and put a wig on and such and such and such. But baby, there are plenty of curl patterns that match your natural hair texture. You're not telling me that you're taking away your hair texture because you don't want to damage it, because now that you can go out and purchase it, you're not purchasing that. You're purchasing the straight bone straights and whatnot. But that's another topic in itself. And, you know, the topics can just piggyback off each other as we go. We'll be on all night.
But going back to you said like people in the family. I honestly I didn't have that light. I think I had that light until I hit a certain age where it was like I did feel like I was the only one, and I felt like I didn't have anybody. But there was, yes, I was the talk of because mind you, both sides of my family, everybody is either a pastor, preacher, or a bishop. On both sides. And so we all know the norms of, yes, the whispers and all the other stuff. I got the whispers, but then I also got the whispers of other family members. So it's like, okay, but yet because I'm the bold one, I'm the one that's ready to walk around and still twitch and bend my wrist and all that. Is stop doing that. Right. And it's just, but as I got older, um, I'm glad and grateful that I had somebody in my family who came out to me and they they just taught me. They led me into be the person that I am today because honestly I think I probably would have been a little bit more wilder than what I am now. Because he was there and he was to say, you know, it's okay. Yes, and I've gone through this too, even though, you know, we have to be on church on Sunday, but I still and it's crazy and it's like, but I still was myself. And I always was myself. And I got ridiculed for being myself, but then there was ones in my family that was not because they did not come out. And I knew the whispers. And it's crazy because, and I love my mentor so much that to the point where it's like, wow, I even inspired him because it's the fact that I inspired you for you to come out. And the way you came out with a wedding ring on. And you came out and you came out basically saying, yes, this is my husband. And it was such a, it was like, yes, yes, I'm happy you finally doing it. Because before you was just DL with me, I was happy to have that somebody, but I always was me. I was always gonna be me. I said I can't hide that. I can't do that. Like I'm sorry. Like it's just y'all see me how I was little. It's not gonna change. I'm not gonna change. The only thing that's gonna change is my money. Like is that's how it was for me, and that's what he also taught me as well. He was like, honestly, it's just about building yourself, making yourself better, keeping yourself up there, and that's why I'm kind of glad that I had him there. So you know, I'm glad that I had somebody, and I do. And when people, those people that don't have anybody, that's why I kind of I like to gravitate to them because it's like I had somebody, and for you to not have anybody, it kind of sometimes I feel like that's not fair because I feel like somebody needs somebody. And I'm thankful that I had him, because if I did not, because it was like, yes, finally, you, I needed you, because my father was estranged. Like, he was always worried about his thing of wanting to be this big time pastor, but then also, but always had a different family at a time. It was confusing growing up. So yeah, I can get that, and that's why it was confusing. And then my mother, God, I love this lady to death, because she has come a long way. Because she may not be gong ho, rainbow flags, but she learned to love me for me, and learned to love me for who I am. And she learned to love my friends, because my friends were my backbone, and she saw that they were my backbone, because she saw that her family really, what like the my okay, I say her family, but my family wasn't really my backbone. Yes, they're there when something came down, and but when it came down time to talking to somebody, she knew at the end of the day I can go to him and talk to him, because there's nobody else that I can talk to. And if I didn't have him, honestly, I because church was so j- just in my throat. Wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. You gotta pray. Go to church every Sunday. 8 o'clock service, 10 o'clock service, 4 o'clock service, and then you constantly saying, "Don't walk like that. Don't talk like that. Don't hear like that." So it was good to have somebody say it's okay to be who you are, but just be careful of how you do it. But then it's also like, I always looked at him as well, like, you know what, you kind of a double standard, because you're not out. And it's like, now that he's out, it's like, I am so happy for you. Like, and it was funny, because he said to me, sometime, he was like, I'm so happy. If I would have known, I would have did this a long time ago. And I'm just like, and you don't, because this is somebody, you don't want to come back, because and you be like, you want to say, well, I told you so, but and you grow, I can, I still have that simple respect for you, so I didn't say it. But it's just like, dang, it took you this long. It took you this long. Like, and I kind of felt like I was fighting. I was getting ridiculed from people because I was me, and then you had yours. So when somebody said something to me, you you didn't really defend, but you knew what to do to make me feel better after something was done or said. And I'm kind of in an instance that did bother me, because I felt like you should have said something, because I'm innocent. I was innocent. But then as I got older, I understood your plight, and I understood your situation. I understood how you were you were to the family. So it's like, okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna stay in my corner and do me. And, I'm gonna catch you. We catch up, and when we catch up, we catch up. We keep. But I can say that I am happy that I had that person in my life. So shout out to you. But y'all, I want to thank you guys. Tayana Boo, we gotta catch you on another time. The internet is good for you. Um, because I know you got something to say. But I do thank you guys for coming on. This last thing that
Thank
I
you for
want to
having
put
me.
up um is this. I feel that we all should do this. I feel that we all should do this. I think we all should take a part in this, because I feel that the best way to hurt somebody is their pocket. Is their pocket, because it messes with their mental status, and it messes with their life and trust and belief. A lot, and no shade, they've done it for years. They've done it for years to us. So we need to let it happen and make it plain that we do it as well. So on that note, just pop up once it pops up. We all need to take part of the blackout on July 7th, 2020. Um, if every person can honestly not spend anything on that day, just imagine if we try to do it for a week. Then that means that some type of justice will be found, some type of justice will be heard for us as colored people. And I do feel that us LGBTQIA plus people also need to find do something like this for us as well, because we are the main ones that spend the most money because we know labels. we know we know what the real labels are from what real the people in the suburbs are wearing and stuff like that. It's not always Gucci. It's not always Louis Vuitton. It's other big names. Um, so yeah, I think if we should do this, then we will be great and just just hurt get them where it hurts. Get them where it hurts. Uh, ooh, sorry, Ron. But I do appreciate you guys. I really do. I really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you, LaRon. I'm gonna let you guys leave out with some last words. I had some other stuff, but we're almost 2 hours in, and it's time to go to bed. I know people got to go to work and stuff, but I truly and utterly thank y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your voices are heard. People hear you, and people hear us, and I feel that more Black people of our statures should always be relevant to what is going on, not just with people of color, but with people of color that is LGBTQA plus in the community because we make shit happen. We are the pillars of, and we are the pioneers of a lot of pop culture, artists, history, and everything else in between. So I'm gonna let you guys go if you with. I'm gonna put you actually up on the screen by
Hey.
yourself so you can say your words. LaRon, you can.
Okay, big screen. This is cute. Let me put big screen. Um, I'm very much a person that just as much as I call out, I try to also give like positive, energy back. And so I want to shout out to everyone who is a part of the movement, even if you're not visible. And we're in this day and age where everyone wants to be visible. We record everything. Like I'm at the protest, catch me. I'm donating back to the cause, catch me. You know what I'm saying? For those of us who aren't, we see you. It matters. We thank you. To the white people, to the Asian people, to the Latinos, to uh, to everyone in between. We appreciate you being by our side. It really, really means a lot. Like we are heavy in numbers, and I think at the end of the day, spread love is the Brooklyn way. We talked about the homophobics in the Black community, and I would just like to say thank you to everyone who's spreading the love. And I know it's hard, and thank you to everyone in my family who was just like, we used to be a certain way, and then when you came along, we changed our point of view. That means the most, and I appreciate that, and we appreciate you. So I think that's most important. Also, you want to give. negative feedback or positive criticism, but I'm also here for like shout outs and all that good energy. So that's my two piece. Thank you for having me on the show, Tim. You already know anytime I'm sweating out my whole bang or almost bang. Thank you. Shout outs to everyone else who was also on the show. Everyone gave much love and amazing thoughts. So everyone have a great night. I'm about to do some homework about this, summer classes. I'm out. Bye. Oh, my single. It's the anniversary of my single, right? Yeah. Shout out to the girls. I wrote a song about queer community and uplifting everybody and calling people out. Everything that I just talked about, it's in the song. Shout outs to the girls, LeBron, Spotify, YouTube, Apple. It's everywhere. Bye, guys. I should just hit the leave, right? Okay.
Alrighty, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Oh, I'm sorry, but we can't hear you. Hold on. Wait, I'm sorry, but we still can't hear you. Pick up your phone. It's like a oh, there we go.
Is it better? Okay, I am so sorry. I'll do it all over again. I don't mind. I love the camera. Sorry, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Please share this live and remember to stay aware that all Black lives matter, trans Black lives matter, Black lives matter, Black period matters. For myself, please follow me on Instagram, Ayomi Locks. That's my business page, AYIOMELOCS, all one word. And my personal Instagram is Lala double O. That's LALADOUBLE. Oh, thank you. I was like, wait. When it comes to the topic that we were just talking about, I want to conclude by saying that yes, let's protest for the better good of police brutality. Let's protest and make sure that we're also not just protesting, looting, and rioting for no fucking reason. Let's make sure we get out to those poll boxes, because at the end of the day, this is still a democracy and that we still have to vote for a change to happen. So make sure your ass is at that booth, and make sure you're voting, and not just for the president, but for your local elects. Okay, that means for the judges, for the district attorneys, these people who are allegedly falsely incriminating people and all that stuff. Let's act like how to get away with murder is not a real thing, and people are not doing what the fuck they did on that show in real life. Remember that within your community, there are a lot of different lives. Evolution has came so far, and within the 400 years of oppression, there has been so many subcategories of oppressed people within an oppressed community. Let's change the narrative. Let's get back on track to love and to family, which is what the Black community is all about. I'm signing out. I thank you guys so much. I thank my host for having me, Tim. Thank you to my stars tonight, Tiana. We got to do this again. Calvin, it was very nice meeting you, and LeBron. We have to do this again, definitely. It was amazing.
I am thankful for being a part of this panel and as part of this discussion. I feel like it's very needed. I am a little bit nervous about using my platform and speaking about things that are going on within the community, outside the community, but I feel like it's something that is necessary. For those of you who are seeing, and for those of you who are not seeing, always remember to be progressive within getting getting the message of paying it forward, and be constructive in your building methods to making a better society. You can follow me on CSMENT89 on Instagram, and then the same on Twitter. And my Facebook following is Calvin Martin, and on YouTube it's Calvin Martin as well. And I want to say, Tim, I'm thankful and blessed to have been a part of this platform and speak about discussions. I think from with any community that you are in, especially within the Black community, the conversations of Black lives matter. So remember that Black conversations matter within every community, every walk of life, and it's something that needs to be continued. Thank you, guys, and have a great one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Tim's Timeline Talk. We pressed on a lot of good issues today. We talked about a lot of great things. Thank you. And I just want to thank my panel so much. I just want to thank them, and I appreciate every single last one of them. Tiana, I appreciate you, boo. I understand. It's okay. We will do this again. Um, and yes, just like thank you, La. Thank you, LaRon. Thank you, Calvin. You guys, and the reason why I chose you guys, and because you guys are pillars within your own communities, and you guys don't understand how much you all have inspired not just others, but you also inspired me as well to do better, to be better, and to continue to just love, share, and give whatever my talent is. Because why hold it all in when I can just share it with everybody else? So I thank you. I thank them so much. I truly, truly thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I thank the people that should watch the show tonight. I thank you. And yes, you can also follow me on my Facebook. I don't have one name. I know I have to get it together, but I will. But my Facebook is Timothy D. Fountain Sneed, and then of course my YouTube is Tim Timeline Talk. And my Instagram is Timmy D, spelled TIMM13D. Yes, I got to get one name for all platforms, and I will do that. But once again, just like Lala said, go out there and vote. Make sure you please vote. Vote, vote, vote. If you have a young kid, anybody, take them to the polls. If somebody just turned 18, let them make sure that they get registered. We need every person's vote of color. And also, just like they all said, all lives, all Black lives matter, no matter what instances where they come from, regardless, we still are evident of because you see our skin color. So yes, we are part of that umbrella of all Black lives matter. So we should be treated as if we matter. Okay? So I thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I feel blessed and favored. I thank everybody that was a part of this. It was just an awesome feeling, and I mean they came, they showed, and just thank you guys, thank you. So on that note, I'm signing off, and peace.
Black lives matter. Again, don't be inclusive in this photo. We all confused like tennis, empty and so-so. How you magenta with the system when I'm broke? We support y'all, but when it's our turn, dolo. It's okay, yo. Shout out to the girls if you claim them. Praise the gay away, no amen. Praise it straight away, safe nameless. Y'all idolize the same people that wish to stag